good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to A7 DJ Bar for another Sunday Night Live. And what a show we've got coming up for you today.
We've got a special guest just off camera right now. A kind of Pattaya legend, really.
Yes.
In his own lunchtime, anyway. And he's been actually staying in Pattaya. It's Mr. Barry Upton. Now, a lot of people know Barry from Pattaya People Radio. He's the voice there, but he's well known for a lot of other things that maybe a lot of people don't know about. To kick the show off,
yes.
Right, now we've got a very special day. I think it was actually Thursday or Friday. We're going to talk about it later on, but it is the 25th anniversary of the release of the Step song 5, 6, 7, 8.
And he's created a new version, hasn't he?
And he's created a Latino version, Mr. Barry Upton, who actually co-founded the Steps and co-wrote the 5, 6, 7, 8, and he's got a Latino version. He's going to play for it right now inside the bar. We've got a couple of girls dancing. All I can say is, Barry, is take it away, sir. Here we go.
All right. Should we have a little dance? The South Side. Here's a little song called 5, 6, 7, 8, the new version. Now listen, it's time to begin, so count it in. 5, 6, 7, 8.
Tropical baby is driving me crazy like a man for Havana, my Latino days. I dance for romance and my praise upon me, not so now I'm trying to cute to step with you. 5, 6, 7, 8. Step with you, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hey! Mambo, jambo, rumba, salsa, samba, tanga, bossa nova, chapolero, carimboco, placido, play. Merengue, fast tango, cachucha, kimbo, danzonco, cha-cha. Come on, baby, mamacita, get the groove, let's dance away. Tropical baby is driving me crazy like a man from Havana, my Latino days. I dance for romance with my plans upon me, and so now I'm trying to cute to step with you. 5, 6, 7, 8. Catalina, Mariano, Adriano, Manakita, Valeria, Gabriela, Camila, Elena, Luna, Juana, Lola, Julieta, Guadalupe, Camalita, Cha-cha-cha, Cubana, hey! Spin now, count it in. 5, 6, 7, 8. A tropical baby
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Barry Upton. Woo! With Soy 6, 7 and 8.
I never thought of doing that.
Yeah, that was a comment in one of the chat from Mekon Mick. He said Soy 6, 7 and 8.
Barry Upton, thank you very much, sir.
My old friend Martin.
Yes. Nope.
One of the first people I ever got to know when I first came here to Pattaya.
That's right, myself and Johnny Diamond.
You showed me the ropes, didn't you?
Oh, how can you show you the ropes? You're such an old timer. Nice and close. No, I mean old time in the music industry.
Yeah.
You've been around for a long time. We're going to talk about that in a wee second there.
Close to the mic.
So, you started. When did you start in music? And what gave you an interest in music?
Well, first of all, it was when I was about 4, and my mother brought an accordion down from the loft. And she played this accordion, and the thing was, she actually played in a band in the war. So I heard her playing music, and I thought to myself, that's so fantastic. I've got to try to do that. So I had piano lessons. That's kind of kicked me off. Yeah.
Right, and so it wasn't the fact that musicians always seem to get the hot women.
That came a bit later on.
I've seen pictures of you in a Superman outfit, mate. Oh, you don't want to. It's something you can't unsee.
It's always been a bonus to the job. That is always
the perk, isn't it? Now, we're going to jump a wee bit forward. What was your first kind of big success? Because you were in Brotherhood of Man, weren't you?
Yeah.
Now, tell me a bit about that.
Well, that kind of was my first big success because up until then I was just a jobbing guitarist, playing in bands and touring around Europe. And then I got into a resident band at a nightclub. And Brotherhood of Man were the band that were topping the bill one night. Little did I know, actually, before that I'd already met them in a studio because I was in the little studio. They were in the big studio, and I'd said hello, and so they already knew me. And then when they saw me at this nightclub, little did I know that one of the guys in the band wanted to leave, but he'd only leave if they could find a good replacement. And they looked at me and went, he's the perfect replacement. So I went for an audition up to a little office in London, and I played through the songs quite easily, and 5 minutes later I was in the group. So
is that a case of being at the right place at the right time, or how far does sort of talent take you in this business, or you just got to be the right place with the right haircut?
It does help to be in the right place at the right time, but you've got to work it hard to get there. So it was just the fact that I'd been writing, I've been recording, I could do little dance routines on stage as well as play guitar. I fit the bills kind of thing, you know.
And I tell you, there is no one works harder than you, especially in Pattaya. We'll talk about what you've been doing in Pattaya for the last few years, but you got to work hard in Pattaya, haven't you?
Well, the thing is, the manager of Brotherhood of Man, a guy called Tony Hiller, who's kind of like my mentor, he told me one very important thing, and that's the harder you work, the luckier you get. And it's so true.
Yeah.
It really is. You know, if you keep at it and you keep putting songs out there, one of these days, one of those songs is going to be a hit.
Yeah, you throw enough spaghetti at the wall and something will stick. That kind of thing.
That kind of thing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, you.
Hang on, I'll just write that down. Spaghetti at the wall. That's a good title for a song. That
you're going to write a song, aren't you? Actually, we're going to talk about later on about the Pattaya song, which is a bit funny. But we'll talk about now. You done a lot of DJing before you kind of went into that.
That came after.
That came after Brotherhood of Man,
after Brotherhood of Man, and the thing was, a lot of nightclubs in the early 80s were actually turning into DJ nightclubs, you know. Okay. So the dancing, they weren't becoming cabaret clubs so much. They realised they could pay a DJ a lot less than they pay a cabaret act. So kind of a lot of the work went, and we started doing summer seasons and things, which we didn't really like. We did a couple of great summer seasons, but it wasn't really our thing. So we kind of split at that time while we were at the top. And I thought, what am I going to do next? And just by chance, I happened to know the manager of a local nightclub, and he asked me to be a guest DJ. And I thought, well, how difficult can it be?
How difficult could it be? Are we talking a DJ that actually speaks or just plays records?
Speaks. You had to speak in those days with Mecca in the 80s. You had to be a party DJ. You had to talk to the audience. Mm-hmm. You had to do little games on the stage. You had to know all the commercial stuff and also be able to keep the interest the whole evening.
Right. It sounds like a Butlin's red coat.
In a way, there's a little bit of that in there, but it was a great job. And what happened was I did it at this local Mecca nightclub for a few weeks, And then the regional director came in one night and said, I want to see Barry Upton in the office. I thought, oh, I'm not taking it.
Can you read the bingo numbers out?
No, I thought he was going to tell me that I'm not taking it seriously enough.
All right.
And then he just said, how much do you want to do the Hammersmith Palais, which was their flagship. It was the Mecca flagship. So I kind of went straight in at the top. Amazing. And I did that for a few years, and it was just brilliant, unbelievable.
Right time, right place. There seems to be a theme here. We're getting a theme going there.
But you have to have the right, like you said, you have to have the right tools in your pocket to be able to do it.
Now, you and me have got something in common. Right, no, well, there's not much because you get talent and I don't, right?
Oh,
but apart from that, no, our love for country music.
Oh yes,
right, we're big country fans.
Yep.
You done a lot to do with country music. I know you gave me a country album that you wrote years ago, and it was absolutely excellent. You done a lot in Nashville, or you done some stuff in Nashville, didn't you?
Well, what happened was early 90s when rave music came in, and then all that party DJing went out the window. All the clubs just wanted to just mix two records, which was so easy to do.
Right.
And it was all, and don't talk. So I thought, well, that's not for me. I like the communication with the audience, the feedback from the audience, that kind of thing. So I'd always been interested in country music because of the songwriting and because of well, you know what it's like, the lyrical content. It's always brilliant.
There's always a story in country music, isn't there?
And it's just so well written. So I started going to Nashville, as you said, and I learned, even though I'd already had some hits by then, you know, with Brotherhood, with Sonia, with the Nolans, you know, things like that, and some dance records as well. But just the fact of going to Nashville, and it was almost like a science. Writing music was almost like a science to me. And every word has to fall exactly on the note correctly, and there's not a wasted word.
Yeah, do you still hold that true in all the songs that you write? Something, it has to have a little bit of meaning, it has to have, like, you know, was it 3 chords and a truth?
Well, there is a fact that actually, funny enough, 5, 6, 7, 8 is 3 chords.
Well, that brings us right on, because like we're talking about the country thing, and then that led you on to the steps era.
Well, the thing was, I was writing this country stuff, and the only way to get it out on CDs and stuff was through line dancing. And line dancing was becoming really, really popular in the 90s in the UK. And so I ended up going to some of these line dance venues and promoting my CDs. And I saw a bunch of kids dancing, line dancing. I thought, well, they need a pop group. They need something that they can look up to, like we used to with the Beatles and T-Rex and all that kind of thing. But something like the Spice Girls, but not the Spice Girls, you know. And so that's why I put Steps together. And I wrote the song 5, 6, 7, 8, to be honest, to be like a line dancing anthem.
Right. And so a lot of people probably don't know. They probably know the band Steps. They probably don't really know that you were
created them.
They created them.
I
exactly.
auditioned them. I auditioned.
So you picked out. They came in as nobodies.
Yeah.
You looked at them. You thought, well, this guy, yeah, he could maybe be. The girls would like him, and this girl, maybe the guys will like her.
Well, with H, it was always a case of I think the kids would like him, which is what happened. You know, I mean, on the Disney Channel, they were just superstars because everybody loved H. Lisa was a good-looking girl. Claire was a great singer. She knocked me out, and she almost didn't get in the group.
Okay.
Yeah, but she had a slight weight problem.
Can you get sued for this? We are live on YouTube.
It's well documented. It's very well documented, you know. And I took the other guys aside who were helping us, and I said, she has got such a great voice. If she can just lose a few pounds, she'll look great, and she'll be a great asset to the group. You know.
Well, it's good that and Pattaya's a great place to be for being that male chauvinist like that, isn't it? Isn't it? This is the perfect city for telling women you should lose a few pounds, love.
Well, the trouble is, you know, the great thing was she'd already been in a girl band, so she knew how, you know, what to do. She knew on a daily basis. So she was a really good asset to have. And then Faye was so good looking, and then Lee did a kind of little rap at the audition, and I thought, well, he'll be good for the foot kicking, finger clicking, leather slapping, hand clapping, hip pumping. You know, he could do that bit, which he did.
It's like that Pepsi song, isn't it? a little bit.
Well, what happened was the Pepsi thing, lip-smacking, thirst-quenching thing. This friend of mine, Steve Crosby, he'd rewritten those lyrics, but as line dancing lyrics.
Okay.
So foot kicking, finger kicking, leather slapping, hand clapping. Not in that order, but I saw them on the back of his T-shirt and said, that would make a great verse. You know, did you write those lyrics? And he went, yeah. So I went, great, you're a co-writer now then. And I'll take those lyrics and I'll move them around and make them rhythmic.
Yeah. And now, is there a story, I probably got this wrong, but I've known you for a few years and maybe there is a story there where Simon Cowell actually said it was going to be a flop.
Well, it's true. I have a lot to owe Simon Cowell because he gave me a publishing deal in the early 90s and told me to buy a studio with the money. And he was dead right. He says, you should have your own studio. And then we had a hit with him, with Sonia, about a year later. So I knew Simon very well. Got him out to see Steps. We were trying to get a record deal. He turned them down initially, and then we kind of like rejigged the band a little bit and did some more showcases. And the second time round, he took us into his office and said, I think 5, 6, 7, 8's a hit. He says, but I don't see where it's going to go from there, so I'll offer you a one single deal. So we turned him down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
And I said, no, we really want 3 singles and an album deal minimum, you know? And this is the funny part. About a year later, after Steps had suddenly become big and huge and had 3 or 4 hits, I had a cause to go back into his office with another act. And as soon as I walked in, I said, just remind me, are you the guy that turned Steps down? and he went, yes, I know.
Good to rub old Simon Cowell's nose in it there. Now listen, we said earlier on, it's the 25th anniversary of what exactly?
Well, it's the 25th anniversary of the original release date. So the original release date was November the 10th, 1997.
Right.
And I remember those first few days, I thought, is it going to go in the charts? Is it not? You know, you didn't know. You never knew. And then by the midweek, you get the midweek charts come out. And it was up there in the top 20. So I thought, I can relax now a little bit. At least it's going to go in the charts. But then it stayed in the top 20, between 10 and 20. It kept going up and going down and going up and going down for 4 months, which was unheard of at that time. You know, you'd normally go maybe up to number 1, number 2, and drop out. And it stayed there for 4 months. So it's now got a record because it's the biggest selling record of the 90s not to make the top 10.
Oh, okay, and it's the 25th anniversary. It's a bit of a milestone, that, isn't it?
Very big milestone. And Steps, they brought out during the summer, down the English summer, they brought out, because they were doing gigs and touring, they brought out an album, which is called the Platinum Album, of 25 years of hits. So, and on all of the TV shows they were on, they kept playing 5, 6, 7, 8 because it was the first.
It's everywhere though, isn't it? I mean, it's on PlayStation games, it's on, like movie soundtracks, it's on television soundtracks. Yeah. You must be minted, mate, with the royalties. You must be.
It's done very well.
It's done well. Listen,
it's done all right.
Listen, Mr. Barry Upton,
I can't complain.
Sitting in the dark side with his villa, with his private pool, and his inflatable Dalek. Up there.
Going for that. That's good, yeah.
Very good. So
it's the 25th anniversary, so I thought, what can I do? I know, I'll make a new version.
Right, tell us about the new version.
Well, that new version that I just did there is a Latino version because I'm really into Latin music at the moment, and I think it's so international. It's such a fun, vibrant kind of genre. So I thought, okay, well I'll do a Latino version, and I'll change the lyrics to suit because you can't sing foot kicking, finger clicking, leather slapping, hang. That's all line dancing lyrics.
Yeah.
So I did the mambo, jambo, rumba, salsa, all that kind of thing. Wrote all those lyrics and a different chorus as well. So I've rejuvenated it, and it's just been released. It was released yesterday.
Okay, so it was all good online stores.
Online downloading, we're everywhere. Now you can watch it for free on YouTube. Okay, there's a video. We made this video in Cuba and in Pattaya. So it's half in Pattaya, half in Cuba, with Cuban dancers and some Pattaya dancers. But this is the great thing, is the fact that there's 2 more mixes that I've done, and there's an extended dance version which can be downloaded, and a radio version as well, like a short version.
Strange, this downloady thing. Do you not feel like an old man? You know, like
no, I've kind of kept with it. I've kept with it.
You know what I mean? Like it was like, the first you'd have had the 78 records, and then the 45s, then the.
I've still got a few 78s at my house here.
Why does that not surprise me? You've got a nice jukebox in your house too, which is interesting. 45 jukebox.
When I was a teen, and I used to go down to my local cafe, and I was able to. My mother and father gave me some money to put money in the jukebox and get a cup of tea and beans on toast. Oh, I'll never forget that. That's fantastic.
The smell of a jukebox, the smell of the vinyl as it hits the.
It's just iconic, isn't it? It's iconic.
But you've also. We're going to move away from steps for a wee quick second, right?
Yeah.
But congratulations, by the way. 20. You know, there's a lot of people.
It's unbelievable.
There's a lot of people that don't achieve anything in their life, and you've done well.
It's the same lineup. I mean, the Beatles only stayed together for 10 years.
That's quite. At least they've done. The Steps have made a lot of kind of comebacks, haven't they? Comeback kids.
I can't compare them with the Beatles, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Right. So you also done. I know I helped you with a couple of things. You also done a lot of stuff with a crazy guy called John Otway.
Oh yeah, I love John Otway. I used to be a big John Otway fan.
Right.
And then a couple of times at gigs, I managed to start chatting with him. And then one day we got drunk together at a bar, a hotel bar. And I said to him, you know what, John? Your records are rubbish. You're so good on stage, but your records are rubbish. He says, okay, well, you produce me then. So I ended up writing it and producing with him.
Was this after Bunsen Burner? That was his big song, wasn't it?
Which one?
Bunsen Burner was his big song.
No, Bunsen Burner was the hit that we had.
Oh, was that?
Yeah.
Right, okay,
The first song was in 1976 with Cool Baby, That's Really Free. And then he had flop, 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 flop. Well, 25 flops.
25 flops.
And then I came along, right, and top 10.
Nice.
Because I produced him as a fan. I wanted to hear him on record, the way that he is on stage, you know, and I wanted that personality to come across. And it worked. Right. We're great friends. I even played in his band for a while.
And I helped you with the Otway the movie. Do you remember?
Otway the movie? Oh yeah, that's right. You filmed some, didn't you?
I filmed some stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of, there you go. See, I'm a wee bit famous too, Barry.
You filmed the Dalek. I remember I was playing a ukulele in a swimming pool.
Yeah.
And then the Dalek just floated across the screen.
There you go.
And that made it to the film. That was a great movie.
There you Otway the movie, right? I do not have a credit as a cameraman in that. I'm gutted, mate. That was the pinnacle of my career.
Yeah.
It was all downhill. It's all downhill after that. What note was that?
F sharp.
F sharp, thank you. Barry, for 2 seconds, tell us about your stuff you've done with the Cheeky Girls. Now, just look into that camera. I'm going to make sure the chat's okay. Right, thanks.
Okay, well, what happened with the Cheeky Girls was I wrote this Christmas song called I'd Like to Give You One for Christmas, and I thought it would be the perfect song for the Cheeky Girls. And so I met up with them, and they didn't really want to do that. They'd already done a Christmas song, but they wanted to work with me, so I ended up doing about 3 or 4 songs with them, and great fun it was too. So there you go, me and the Cheeky Girls. And musicians used to say to me, what are you doing? You're so cheesy. In fact, Shane Ritchie it was who said to me, you're nothing more than a musical prostitute. That's what he called me, huh? So I've been labelled as a pop-tart ever since, isn't it?
And a cheesy pop-tart to that.
You see, my premise was that there's always more credibility in being in the charts than out of charts. Doesn't matter what the music is.
Yeah. Can I tell you a wee story that you probably don't know, right? When you first came to Pattaya, and we're going to talk about you coming to Pattaya and what your whole plan was, Neil. Now, when you came to Pattaya, there was a few whispers around the town about who is this Barry Upton guy.
Oh, really?
There was, aye. And do you know where the whispers were?
No.
Right, well, in Pattaya, you actually get a lot of bullshitters.
Oh, of course, everywhere.
Right. Everywhere. Now, there's a lot of guys that will come in here, they pretend they're like a Navy SEAL, you know, they're SAS, they could tell you what they do, but they need to kill you.
Yeah.
There's so much bullshitters.
Somebody told me you're going to meet a lot of astronauts.
There's a lot of astronauts in Pattaya too, right? No, but the thing is, I mean, to a certain point, there's a lot of, you can come to Pattaya and be who you want to be, right? To a certain level.
But people like me and you can suss them out, can't we? I mean, I sussed you out quite quickly. Right. I thought, he knows what he's doing.
Well, this is the point, but a lot of people come to Pattaya and they're actually a wee bit of, they might be a little bit, lax with the truth, shall we say.
Okay.
Right. Now, the whispers that was going around the Pattaya when you came, is this guy the real deal?
Oh, right. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Gotcha, yeah.
And obviously we found out that you were actually the real deal. And I've seen your back collection of famous photographs with famous superstars. So we can, we sussed out you were the real deal anyway. What was your first plan when you came to Pattaya? What was the idea?
Originally, it was to come here for 6 months and go back with my party band and work, in the studio for 6 months back in the UK. But as soon as I came here, I started working with Pattaya People Media Group and having a morning show on the radio and producing TV and stuff. And I thought, well, I don't need to be in the UK at all. Yes. So I just moved everything over here.
We've had a great time over the years in Pattaya, haven't you? We've seen a few things that we can't talk about in the public arena. Can I just point out...
One in particular was when I used to watch the holiday programme and Judith Chalmers and think she had the best job in the world. And then, remember, Niels asked me and you to go to Koh Chang and make some features.
Yeah.
With me presenting, you doing all the camera work and editing and stuff, right? And I remember I was looking at the camera one day and doing my piece to camera, and I thought,
Judith Chalmers.
I'm Judith Chalmers.
Judith Chalmers.
This is it. I've done it.
Judith Chalmers with a dick. Right. move swiftly on. Can we have the wide shot of the girls?
I never knew that. Did she really have
I don't know. We did have a super chat. We've got a chap online called Dirty Lurker.
Okay.
And every week Dirty Lurker lurks dirtily.
Really?
And he sent us $200. Can you believe that on his super chat? And we've got all the girls in the bar a drink here. So if we can maybe...
I thought I was going to get a new guitar.
Yeah, well, you're going to do another song in a wee second, but we're going to talk about that in a minute. Right. First, we're going to get the girls to do the cheers, and Dan can get the wide shot there. Can we get the girls ready? I have no idea what they said.
That's been rehearsed, isn't it?
Well, I think they've done it a few times.
Next time, go 5, 6, 7, 8, not 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Now, so you were going to leave Pattaya. You stayed in Pattaya. Now you've kind of semi-retired, but you're never going to retire, have you?
The problem is, I'm always coming up with ideas for projects, and I want to finish them. I want to do them. So luckily, I've got my studio here, so that's fantastic. I can go in there and do it. And I love making videos the way that you do as well. You taught me a lot about video and video editing, and I just love being that creative person. I don't think that's ever going to leave. It
probably never leave you because it's in your heart, your soul. Yeah. It's who you are. It's who Barry Upton is.
Yeah, that's right.
And for a lot of people who don't know, you wrote a Pattaya song too.
Now that was
Pattaya Wonderland.
Well, when I first came to Pattaya, we were going around the bars, and I kept hearing Pattaya, Pattaya. And
after a while,
I kept thinking, I don't like this song. Right. And so everybody said to me, well, you write one then. Right. So they threw the gauntlet down to me. So I wrote a song more about falling in love in Pattaya. It's called Pattaya Wonderland. Pattaya Wonderland. And yeah, I remember you did the video, didn't you? And it was just brilliant.
Well, you actually wrote some of the words, the lyrics, in the back of a handkerchief in Kiss Food on Second Road.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah, you did.
And it was like, I think it was the latest you've ever been out, because you're in your bed early. I think it was about like 1 a.m. and you had a little handkerchief, like a little napkin.
The thing is, your partner was giving me the Thai words. So I wanted to put some Thai words into it.
Yeah, because you wanted something that rhymed.
How do you say this? How do you say this?
Yeah.
How do you say this? And then I was managing to rhyme them.
Yes. So you never actually wrote it all alone. You did get help from a Thai lady.
Yeah.
You can look at the
all right.
And you can watch the video on YouTube if you search up Barry Upton.
My pen light.
Yeah.
Just simple stuff.
You've got your own YouTube channel with all the music on some of the videos, haven't you?
Well, the thing is, I realise now, as we are now live on YouTube is the new TV.
It is.
I watch nothing else at home. Well, I watch some terrestrial TV, but most of the time I'm on YouTube.
Or Pornhub.
I love the vlogs.
Or Pornhub.
I realise now, with all my songs, it's no good just putting a song out there. You've got to have a video that goes with it. Yeah. So now I do videos for every song. And my last album was Barry's Tropical Beach Cafe. Basically me sitting in this fantastic place in Koh Lipe, and all these girls in bikinis wandering around.
Yeah.
That was the basic idea of it. And so there's 13 songs there. I did the Hormones of Happiness album, which is like a 60s style album.
Oh, well, I helped you film that too.
Yeah.
We keep meaning to do some numbers in that. We're going to have to sort that out in the future.
We filmed it in a classroom.
Yeah.
In the middle of Pattaya, and it tried to make it a little bit like Ready, Steady, Go. but it had a vibe to it. So now with this new one, 5, 6, 7, 8, I've just filmed a video for it and managed to get some footage from Havana, because I've got a friend who's a theatre director, Toby Goff, out there, and he got some spectacular footage. He took these dancers. I said to him, is there any chance you could just film some dancers that might be out in the street or something? Just a chance. He goes and hires 4 dancers, takes them out in the streets of Havana, dancing to 5, 6, 7, 8. And it was just brilliant.
And so very high quality video, actually, you know.
It was brilliant. It's just on the phone, but very, very good.
Now, we've got a couple of questions here. Somebody's asking, did you have the theme tune to Kevin Thailand YouTube channel?
I think I did. That was Pattaya Wonderland.
Yeah. So somebody,
what a great guy he was.
You're correct with that. Now, just before we wrap this little chat up, because we've been going on for too long, you're going to play us out with one song.
Yeah.
Tell us about what you're going to play just now.
It's brand new. It's I've just finished it, and it's for Bryan Adams, because a friend of mine, he promoted Bryan Adams in Mallorca in the summer, and he said, I really want to do something. I want to bring him to Pattaya. So he says, can we make a video and do Summer of '69? And so I thought, well, yeah, but he's heard that a million times. But I've got an idea. Let's do a reggae version.
So we've got a reggae version of Summer of '69. I'm going to go and let you get ready. Thank you, Barry. Shake my hand. Thanks for being on the show. It was a last-minute thing, but we really appreciate it. Go and get ready and do a bit of superstardom.
Sing along.
Excellent.